guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Amy and I make 2 to 3 beauty videos a week, so if that sounds like the sort of thing you would enjoy, click subscribe. Today we are going to be trying and comparing two primers from The Ordinary. So first of all, we have this one, which is the High-Spreadability Fluid Primer, and then we have this one, which is the High-Adherence Silicone Primer. I needed a new primer. I've never tried anything from The Ordinary before, so I thought that I would get them both, compare them, and make a video out of it, because it might help you too. I don't know why I just assumed that The Ordinary would be a really expensive brand. I think they look really expensive. I know their shop in Covent Garden in London is in a very prime location, and I just assumed that everything would be really expensive. But these were really cheap, like less than £10 for both of these. As with all of these review videos, I'm going to assume that the reason you're watching is because you would like to know whether these products are worth your money or which one is better, so I'm going to be trying my best to answer those questions today. We're going to go through what each one is supposed to do, what's in them, first impressions, a wear test, and my impressions over time, so hopefully by the end of the video all of your questions will have been answered. All that being said, I'm not an expert, I'm just a person with skin and opinions, and this video is all based on my own experiences. So if you have any experience with these products or with The Ordinary in general, please leave them in the comments so we can all scroll down and learn together. I'm sure that it will be a great help for anybody who is looking at purchasing these, because it's really helpful to have lots of different opinions to sift through. If you enjoyed this video or if you find it helpful, please do give it a thumbs up so I know what kind of thing to make more of. And with all of my housekeeping tasks done, let's crack on with the video. First, let's have a look at the High-Spreadability Fluid Primer. I'm a bit done with everything that is branded High-Spreadability at the moment. Sorry, that was supposed to be a pandemic joke. This one says that it is a spreadability enhancing lightweight surface smoother and primer. I'm not really sure what it's referring to when it says spreadability enhancing. Is it supposed to be like how your makeup, like your foundation, spreads, or what? This primer is vegan, it's cruelty-free, gluten-free, alcohol-free and oil-free, but it does contain silicone. They market it as a lightweight serum-like formula which increases the spreadability of complexion makeup. Oh, so it is your foundation, which helps avoid the unnatural and uneven accumulation of pigments, especially around the eyes and on dry skin. So basically everything should be looking smooth, with no makeup clinging. That sounds great to me. Ingredients wise, it only contains 7 different ingredients, which is a really small number compared to a lot of the other products I use, which seem to have every chemical under the sun in them. So I'm quite excited to try this. I've got the ingredients list here, and the first ingredient on this list is hexamethyl disiloxane. Did I say it right? I don't know. And then we have another ingredient called cyclopentasiloxane, which is a silicone compound that gives products a silky kind of texture, and that softens the skin and helps to seal in hydration as well. Anyway, enough talking. Let's hand over to past me trying out the High-Spreadability Fluid Primer for the first time. Good morning, welcome to my bathroom. Today we are going to be trying The Ordinary's High-Spreadability Fluid Primer, and I have a confession to make. This is a lie, because I lost the footage of the first time I used this, so we're just filming it again. But as you can see, this bottle is quite grubby because I've used this a lot. So I think that tells you what I think of the product already, but we're still going to talk through what it's supposed to do. We're going to do a wear test. It's still going to be helpful. It comes with this kind of dropper in a bottle there. I will say that for the first, you know, good few uses, I've been using this for probably a couple of months now. The dropper tool was a bit pointless because so much of it was gathered on the outside of the dropper, and the product is quite gloopy, so the dropper didn't come out, it just sort of came out covered in primer, which was fine, but it did make it a little bit messy. It kind of rendered the dropper a little bit useless, but we're ignoring that, so I've just popped some on the back of my clean hands, and then I am going to apply it all over my face. The thing that I really like about this product is the fact that it is so lightweight. I genuinely put it on and can't even feel that I've got any primer on my face. I like the fact that it is completely colourless. Obviously I've got a bit of redness going on at the moment. That is a result of another product that I've been trying. I'm basically just a guinea pig. you'll see in the future. And this is what it looks like on. It's just really comfortable, really lightweight. And yeah, there's not really much else to say about it. So what I'm going to do is go and put my makeup on now, and then I will come back so you can see what makeup looks like on top of it. Okay, makeup is on. It went on really smoothly. If I just get closer, you can see. I feel like it has gone on so smoothly. Everything was really blendable, which High-Spreadability is obviously what it was called, and it definitely does do that. It makes blending everything out feel so easy. Got a little spot here, but if we ignore that, other than that, I just think it looks very bright. It doesn't mattify too much, so your skin has room to look a bit like healthy, glowy, all those good things. And yeah, I just really rate the way that all of my makeup sits on top of it. So with that being said, I'm going to check in like 10 to 12 hours so you can see how it has worn throughout the day. It is so much later now. I've got a really bad headache and I've had it since about 8 p.m. Earlier, maybe 6 I think actually, and it's now 11. So I'm just going to check in with you, show you what my makeup looks like, and then take it off and go to bed. I mean, considering I've been going like this all day because my head hurts, it's in pretty good shape. Where we've got a spot there, it's kind of come through. I think if I was out and about and trying to make my makeup last longer, I probably would have like spot concealed that at some point throughout the day. But overall, I think it's in very good shape. One thing that I do really like about this primer is the fact that I do feel like when it fades, which is inevitable, obviously my makeup has been on for like maybe 14 hours or something, and I find with some primers that when my makeup does fade off throughout the day, it looks quite patchy in the end, whereas with this you've still got a really even coverage, and because of that I can tell where it's been because I've touched my face, because the rest of it really is still intact. The only exception being my nose, which is my most oily area, so we can see that on my nose there. But in terms of everywhere else, that's where I've touched. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can really see where the primer has been like allowed to do its job versus where I've messed it up, basically. But I'm very impressed. I think for how much did it cost? £5.50. Oh my god, you can't go wrong. I think that speaks for itself. I was so impressed, and at that price point as well, I literally don't think you can go wrong. So let's look at the next one, the High-Adherence Silicone Primer. They say that this one is a blurring, surface smoother and priming, and I'm very interested in blurring, smoothing and priming, so sign me up. This one cost £4. £4? I can buy a coffee that's more expensive than £4. From what I can tell, the prices for these do vary slightly by retailer, and I think I managed to get the cheapest option. So I'll put those links in the description. And also keep your makeup on for longer. I'm pretty sure that's where the high adherence part comes in. Why do they give them such complicated names? The Deciem website says that this one can also be used without makeup as a hydrator, and it's supposed to reduce the appearance of pores and imperfections. I'm not actually a big fan of the term imperfections when it comes to skincare and makeup products, because I don't think it's very informative or very helpful, but that is an issue for another time. Looking at the ingredients, this one has water in it as its first ingredients, and it's also made up of a few different types of silicone, which is what will give it that mattifying and smoothing kind of property. I know some people's skin reacts badly to silicone, so if that's you, that is worth bearing in mind. Mine's fine, typically. So I think we're all good. So today we are trying the Ordinary High-Adherence Silicone Primer. It says that this one is a high-adherence, blurring, surface smoother and primer. I'm here for all of those things. This is what the bottle looks like. It is a squirty bottle, unlike the dropper one that we had yesterday, and this one is cheaper as well. This one cost me £4 rather than £5.50. My understanding is that this one is supposed to mattify your skin. I do like a little bit of that, nothing crazy. I have done all of my skincare and my hands are clean, and so I'm just going to go straight in. Straight away, I would say it feels more silicone-y than yesterday's. I can't remember whether this has got silicone in it. So my first impression, there's no scent to it at all. It feels quite slippery, and it's definitely heavier than the one from yesterday. Like, I can definitely feel that I have a primer on. That's not really a bad thing. I'm just like more aware of it. And it's definitely taking longer to dry, but my face feels like baby soft. It really feels, you know what, it feels quite similar to Benefit Professionals, but I really don't get on with Professionals. It really breaks me out, like immediately. So this will be interesting. Yeah, I can definitely feel a residue on the top of my skin, but in comparison to a lot of the other primers that I've used, I think this is going to be quite mattifying. Obviously it says blurring as well, and I think we're maybe starting to see some of that. Obviously I have quite a lot of redness and stuff. I'm going to go and do the rest of my makeup now. I'll come back and show you what it looks like on top of the primer, and then we will check in throughout the day. Okay, the makeup is on, as you can see. It has gone on really nicely. As you can see, normally I have quite a lot of pores around this kind of area, and they are still present. I would say that they're less noticeable. I think the time when I'll really be able to tell a difference is sort of throughout the day, whether the makeup settles into those pores or not, but as at the moment it's looking pretty good. Around the nose area you can kind of see some like pores and some oil, which is not really abnormal for me. I've got some sort of weird colouring issue going on with my nose today. I am only realising that now that I'm looking in the viewfinder. Let me just buff that out. Okay. Oh, is that better? Maybe a bit. But anyway, here is the makeup when I first put it on. I will see you in a few hours with a wear test. It's like 15 hours later. It is nearly 12:30 AM. I don't know why I still have makeup on, but this is the state of it. So as we can see, there is a little bit of kind of, it's breaking up a little bit around my nose and definitely under the eye area. That is a bit inevitable, to be honest. If there are two areas that are going to go, for me it's always those two. I think around where I touch my face it has come off more, which would make a lot of sense. But for the most part, I will say there is very little oil coming through, really only around the nose area. And it has held its own very well. My makeup hasn't really sunk into my pores from what I can see. And overall, like, this makeup has been on for 15 hours and it is now the middle of the night. So I think it's held up really well. I think I still prefer yesterday's, but the only reason for that is that I think yesterday's, where it did kind of fade over time, it faded a little bit more evenly, whereas with this one I'm kind of looking at it and I can immediately see where the makeup is off more in some places than others. But that being said, to be honest, if I was a little bit more careful about not touching my face so much, and by any normal standards of how long I would need a face of makeup to last, I am so impressed. It's done a really good job of keeping my eyeshadow on as well, actually, because I did use it on my eyelids. And my eyeshadow has stayed on very well. Even the shimmer shades in kind of the middle here, they're still very much on, which is not always the case. So, big fan. Gets a big thumbs up from me. To summarise the differences, I would say that the High-Spreadability gives a more dewy kind of finish, whereas the High-Adherence definitely leans towards more matte. That being said, I'm not a huge fan of a really dewy makeup look because I do have oily combination skin, and I do get on still very well with High-Spreadability Fluid Primer. So I don't think there's that much of a difference in terms of shine or oil, to be honest, but maybe that's just my experience. I'm calling this a very successful experiment because I spent £9.50 and I got 2 new primers, which I absolutely love, and I also got to make this video out of it, so I hope that that will help you as well. I really want to try more stuff from The Ordinary now, so if you have any recommendations, please let me know. Ooh, maybe I'll do one of my like trying every foundations video, but for The Ordinary. Would that be helpful? Do they even do foundation? I'm not sure. Or do they only do skincare? I'm not sure if I've ever seen their makeup. Either way, I'll figure it out. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for lots more beauty videos, and leave a comment with your own experiences of The Ordinary or of their primers. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in a few days.